Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion is Mishpatim from chapter 21 through 24 of the book of Exodus. And there's also another special section that we read just from chapter 30, a few verses of the book of Exodus, because it's also Shabbat Shekalim that talks about the half shekel contribution that all are asked to make for the upkeep of the temple in the ancient world. Although making contributions to the modern day temples is good too. Anyway, I wanted to focus on Mishpatim. What are Mishpatim? This week's Torah portion says, Ela Mishpatim, these are the laws. And it details of a whole number of laws, and 53 mitzvot. 53 mitzvot that come directly from the Torah. 23 of them are positive, you shall do this. 30 of them are negative, you shall not do that. And many of them cover some of the most essential of ethical and moral behaviors, guiding us to treat, whether it's the stranger or the poor or the ones who are struggling, how do we behave towards them? Now, as we are going through mitzvot and going through ethical and moral behavior, it's one thing when we know this person, we know someone is going through a difficult financial time or going through an emotionally difficult time, to respond to that person in kind and to give them that support and that love. It comes naturally because we know this person. Maybe even we have a caring relationship with this person, and we're just compelled instinctually to help this person. But what about those that we don't like? And in the Torah portion, it gives us two examples. One, it talks about your oyev, the oyevecha, your enemy, and the other, sonecha, the one who you hate and who hates you. What do you do about the behavior towards those with whom you have such enmity, and your inclination is not to be helpful, not to be sweet? It gives us an example. This is from chapter 23 in the book of Exodus, verse 4. It says, Kitif gashor oivcha. When you find the ox of the oivcha, of the person who you hate, your enemy, the person who was opposed to you, who was maybe even seeking to harm you, your enemy. O chamoro, or maybe you find his donkey, to'eh, wandering along. Heshev tashivenu lo. You must nevertheless return this animal to the person who is your enemy. Right? Don't say, oh, that's my enemy's ox, that's my enemy's donkey, and I'm going to let, it serves him well. He deserves it. It's his just desserts because he was my enemy, and I want bad things to happen. And the Torah says, no, 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 no. If the right thing to do is to help that animal. And then it gives another example. The very next verse, verse 5, says, when you see the donkey of the person who you hate, the person who you just can't find anything nice to say about them, and they're not nice to you either. Rovetz tachat mish'alo. This donkey is struggling under its load. V'chadal me'azovo. And you were concerned whether or not I should help this person, leave it alone or not, let it go, because this person hates me. It says, azov ta'azov no. Nevertheless, ta'azov imo. You must surely help him. Now, is it referring to the donkey or referring to the person who you hate? This is where the Torah is challenging us. There's two levels here, and the commentators bring this out as something for us to have for food for thought. And that is, on one hand, we have an animal struggling. An animal is lost out of its pen and could be endangered. And the animal didn't do anything wrong. And that may be the animal that belongs to your enemy or to the one who you hate or who hates you. Nevertheless, it's an animal. And this understanding of tsar ba'alei chayim, the pain of an animal is one that we're all responsible for, to make sure that no animal suffers. They're vulnerable. Help that animal, even if it belongs to someone who you don't like. It has nothing to do with whether you like this person or don't like the person. Do the right thing. And then when it talks about the donkey that's struggling under the burden of the person that you hate, or who hates you, again, and you consider, should I help this person, or leave it alone, or don't leave it alone, or bother it? The Torah says, help it. Help it. And two things will happen. One is you did the right thing by way of that animal. This animal is struggling and suffering, and we can reduce suffering. We can help this poor creature, right? Part of God's creation. It doesn't matter who owns this animal. This animal's suffering, and let your heart bleed for it. And yes, you'll be doing the right thing for the animal, but also all of a sudden, that person who thought she was your enemy, thought she hated you, and that you hated them, they'll start to think, maybe this person didn't hate me so much. Maybe there is some goodness here. Maybe there's a possibility of reconciliation. Maybe we don't have to be enemies. Maybe we don't have to be hateful toward one another. The Torah, in presenting all of these mishpatim, these laws, these instructions, is telling us, don't think that the whole world is just a binary of hate and good, and there's a struggle between them. We have the control, we have the mechanism to make a positive difference, regardless of what this other person is going to do. Maybe that person will continue to be a schnook, and you still won't have a decent relationship with them. Okay, that's on them. But we did the right thing. We were kind, sensitive, and caring towards this animal. And we did the right thing even for the person who we had opposition with. Maybe it will have reconciliation, maybe not. But we can control our world with our actions. Ela Mishpatim. These are the laws. These are the instructions. These are the ways that we can make this world a better place. And it's not from outside. It starts here. What am I going to do? Even for the person that I don't care about. That's the challenge. Now, hopefully there are very, very few of those people out there, because we love everybody, right? Yeah, that's a good thing too. Shabbat Shalom.